Good morning friends. Remember in our last video we discussed about the common costs and how it can be attributed among various projects. I am Ashish Agarwal from team NGOenabler, and today through this video I will discuss 10 important aspects to be kept in mind while such allocation of common costs is done by the organizations. So the first and foremost is identification of costs. As was also discussed in our previous video on the topic, it's crucial to identify the common costs accurately, for which the categorization of such costs between direct and indirect is of utmost importance. Such categorization further depends on the nature of expense and how the resources are consumed, which may vary from organization to organization. Next comes fairness and transparency. The allocation method should be fair and transparent to stakeholders, including donors, project managers, and beneficiaries. It's essential to communicate the rationale behind the allocation method to build trust and ensure accountability. Then comes consistency. NGOs should strive for consistency in their allocation methods to facilitate comparability across projects and ensure accuracy in financial reporting to the donors. Changes in allocation methods should be justified and clearly documented. Next comes reasonableness. The allocation method should be reasonable and justified. The basis should reflect a fair distribution of costs based on the factors such as usage of resources, personal time, square footage of space used, and many more. There should be a logical connection between the costs and the project. In the fifth aspect, we shall discuss documentation and record keeping. The organization must maintain detailed records of common costs and the allocation process. This includes documenting the rationale behind allocation decisions, the methods used, and any assumptions made. Such documentation will also increase the transparency during the project audits and financial reporting to the donors. For instance, project-wise timesheet for common employees approved by the program coordinator or director can be kept. Then comes regular review and adjustment. A regular review of the allocation process should be done to ensure its effectiveness and relevance. Adjustments or changes in the allocation decisions may be necessary as projects evolve or new activities are undertaken based on various factors. For instance, change in the usage of resources, change in the program activities, and many more of such interventions. Then comes clear policies. The organizations should establish clear policies and procedures for allocation of common costs within the organization. Once such policy is officially documented and communicated to the relevant stakeholders, the principles and methodologies of allocation becomes clear to them and no questions shall be raised in future. Next comes compliance and reporting. The organizations have to ensure compliance with the relevant accounting standards and regulatory requirements governing cost allocation for their organizations. Accurate and transparent reporting of common costs and their allocation is essential for accountability and proper compliance. Then comes risk management. The organization needs to consider the potential risks associated with the common cost allocation, such as inaccuracies leading to misallocation of resources, mismanagement of time, or donor dissatisfaction. Thus, proper controls need to be implemented to mitigate these risks. Last but not the least is continuous improvement. The organizations should continuously seek opportunities to improve the common cost allocation process. One way of doing it is to solicit feedback from the stakeholders and evaluate the impact of allocation decisions on project outcomes and organizational sustainability. Thus, keeping in mind the aspects discussed, the allocation decisions of the common costs need to be taken by the management in order to be transparent and accountable in the eyes of relevant stakeholders. So this was all about today's topic. I hope I have been able to develop the clarity on the common costs and the aspects to be considered while deciding the allocation process. For more such updates and tutorials, keep tuned to our channel. Don't forget to subscribe it and put your notifications on. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and LinkedIn. Thank you.